Hello everyone, Jag Taggart 93 here with a review of the 1995 WAD Prison Camp by Nothing. That's right, Nothing. That's the moniker the author picked, Nothing. So in the README file for this map, our author, Nothing, wrote, "This is a level partially inspired by the book King Rat. It takes place in a prison camp. The camp commandant has decided or been ordered to liquidate the inmates. You overpower your executioner and try to escape. The sick bay and mess hall are for the guards only, as you're prisoners, and they don't care a fig about you. This level doesn't have any of the weapons above the chain gun. I was trying to be realistic. Also, the only bad guys are shotgun guys, troopers, chain gun guys. So the author deserves credit for trying to create a map inspired by another work of fiction, and for trying to make it as realistic as possible, I suppose. This mindset is apparent as the map is laid out in theory like a prison camp. In the map, the player has to make it out alive from a cell block through the compound and out through the prison's gates towards freedom. Now, I said in theory earlier because while the intention is there, it doesn't completely work in practice. I understand the architectural desire to have narrow corridors in a prison camp, but these corridors are much too narrow. If this was a real hallway, you'd be incredibly impractical using these corridors to try to usher prisoners back and forth in single file. They would have to. I mean, God forbid the prisoner starts thrashing, the guards would have one heck of a time trying to overwhelm them. They would have to climb over each other since the hallway is so narrow. You would think that the guards would want to flank the prisoner from all sides and try and subdue him that way, and I suppose they might be able to with some of the narrow doorways available, but no, it's just very silly how it's laid out like that. The map also suffers from some painfully misaligned door and wall textures that really hurt the realistic feel that was intended. I mean, really, just look at that. Now, I know it sounds like I'm ripping apart this map, but I will admit that there's a few things here that are done pretty well. The pit of bodies where you find the red key is a nice touch, with the damaging floor effect and glow mimicking fire. There's also a nearby torture area of corpses patrolled by one guard, whom I could imagine was probably the camp executioner. Speaking of bodies, there's quite a bit of Doomguy corpses strewn about, which makes it seem like there was a riot and a prison break. All the other prisoners have died and you're the only one left standing. The reading file does say that the camp was ordered to liquidate all prisoners, so we can guess the prisoners did not go willingly. A number of them seem to have gotten as far as the courtyard, and they were just so close to freedom before they were cut short. They even managed to cause some havoc in the prison, such as partial power outages. It's also nice that the map ends with the player leaving through the camp's gate and into the open. Most Doom maps end with the player getting to some small locked room within the map and flipping a switch. That really would not have worked here. Although it would be cool to maybe see a prequel map where you play as an ill-fated prisoner, armed only with their fists, who makes it all the way to the power generator of the compound to cause power outages that led to the prisoner riots. This map also presents a good amount of challenge on ultraviolence. The map is an appropriate size for a compound with many rooms, each with their own specific thematic purpose, complete with a mess hall, sick bay, and library. The WAD starts fairly simply, if not a bit dull, with the protagonist shambling down linear corridor after linear corridor, shooting whatever bad guy appears directly in front of them. The very literal linear gameplay changes, however, as the map progresses, culminating in a wild firefight outside in the courtyard. The enemies are not clustered like generic video game bad guys, but rather strategically paced at specific areas, just like guards in a real prison. This means towards the end of the stage, the player not only has to contend with soldiers at ground level, but also negotiate guards that are behind cover and snipers posted in guard towers. For those reasons, Prison Camps earns a 5 out of 10. The psychology is there, but the technical execution is a bit lacking. And that makes for a short, enjoyable, but ultimately forgettable experience. And that is it. Thank you everyone for watching. This is Jag Taggart 93, signing out.